26. I said I would scatter them into corners. I will make the remembrance of them to cease from among men. And that happened. That truly did happen during this current captivity we live in right now to this very day. That happened, man, during this captivity. Because before this empire stood, we knew, and even in the beginning of this empire, we knew, all right, that we were Israelites, man. It took hardcore slavery. It took boarding school. It took genocide for our nationality to be stripped from us, man. That's why each tribe have a piece of just a little small piece of as far as their old self, man, or their old traditions, man. They have a small little piece of it, man. And then they don't have understanding. Most of them don't have an understanding of that. To this day, man. Some of them knew about this, that, and the third. It happened back then, but they don't understand why or how these things come together full circle to us being Israelites. Our whole dwelling, our whole community, every community that Jake dwelled at is a remembrance of who we are by the things we do, whether it's wicked or whether it's righteous. And right now, as it stands, the righteous is us men that come out here, us men of Israel that come out here and teach, man. You know, it says, I said I would scatter them into corners. I will make the remembrance of them to cease from among men. And by the way, this is the Most High telling Moses to tell it to us, right? Verse 27, were it not that I feared the wrath of the enemy, lest their adversaries should behave themselves strangely, and lest they should say, our hand is high, and Yahweh hath not done all this. For they are a nation void of counsel, neither is there any understanding in them. Yeah, man. And that's the way you behave yourselves, man. And at one point, there was no understanding in none of us, man. We all fell away, man. It was Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah that brought us to remembrance, man. Starting with Abba, man. Starting with Abba Bivens. No, you're the Israelites. You're my children, or sons, I should say. You're the peculiar treasure that I made unto myself. That I made special and I made above all the nations that I had my son create. Meaning Yahweh Shah. This is what the Most High is saying to our people, man. To us, man. You're the people that I brought out of the land of Egypt, man. Martazayim. The house of bondage. When you were being oppressed by the old Egyptians. See? We were the ones that were led by the way, man. Coming out of the Egyptian captivity when the Egyptians was chasing us on horses and chariots. Complaining. Crying unto Moses about the oppression. And what did Moses say? Did he hear the cries of his people? You know? We're going to precept real quick. this up real quick. Bear with me 1 second. All right, this is Exodus 2, verse. Hey, what's going on? Just teaching, like I always do.
Oh, you teach?
Yeah, you know, I always. Every time you grab by, I'll be out here teaching. I got my garment on.
So you teaching when you got your car out?
Yeah.
You sound like the oils and shit.
Huh?
I thought you sound like the oils and stuff, man.
Oh no. This ain't. See, most of our people, how you doing? Well, yeah, but when I come out here, you know, I come out here and I teach our people that they're Israelites, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, some that, you know, we all raised in the church business. But one thing they don't teach us is that we're the children of Israel, according to the Bible. Even describes how we look. Now we don't make it about that, but you know, it's something that we're not taught growing up. So this is what I do. You know, I come out here and I read scriptures in its truth in its entirety. Something that the so-called pastor won't do. And the reason why they don't do it is because they paid off not to teach us the truth, man. This is the book of Deuteronomy 28 and 15, right? And these are, because one thing about us, Bob, is that we went through these prophetic curses as a people. Yeah, and I'm going to show you some of them. This is how you identify you're an Israelite. Deuteronomy 28 and 15. But it should come to pass if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. And one of the main curses that specifically the Negroes identify with, but even so-called Latinos and Native Americans too, because they was taken from this land to Europe and different parts of the world, but applies to us all, is the 68th verse. It says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Now, when you look at the word Egypt, that's a Greek word. The word there in the Greek is Aegyptos, which means bondage or slavery. And it says with ships. Now, the people you can identify when the slavery or bondage, the word bondage means slavery. The people that went into slavery with ships or by ships is so-called blacks. And then the conquistadors, the Spaniards, took some of us that's from Latinos across the world, and then some of us natives went out across the world too. And that's something that they don't tell you in the history books.
What other?
As far as they tell you about the transatlantic slave trade, but they don't really tell you how it ties and applies to the scriptures, which is secular history. Would you that question, man?
What other curses that we went through? They said.
All right.
Curses we went through.
Cool. Let's go. Let's jump back a little bit. Since you mentioned that, this one of the key eye openers right here. To everybody, oh man. 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, till he have destroyed you. You got your phone on you?
No, nothing on the phone.
All right, well, when you go to Google, it says yoke of iron, right? Go to Google. Bear with me 1 second. I can't see the sunlight. See the sunlight. Type in yoke of iron. Yoke of iron come up. You see the best way you can. Images come up automatically. And if you go and click on images, you'll see Negroes and Native Americans mainly. Then you'll start to see Latinos, because it happened to all of us, because we're all Israelites. You notice that we're in the ghettos together. Actually, I was just reading the precept that said that the Lord will remove us into corners, and corners are ghettos or slum areas. And it are not. When you look at the sign right here, little Bob, right? Come around and look at the sign, brother. When you look at the sign right here, are not these people in the ghettos together? Think about it. Especially when you go into major cities. Like, I lived in major cities before. Atlanta, Georgia, Grand Rapids, Michigan. I lived in Battle Creek, Kalamazoo. You go into bigger cities, there are a representation of all these tribes, and they live in the same areas.
So this is their name?
Yeah, this is our biblical names, and this is who we're called by the so-called white man. Yeah, the American Negroes. Yep. Yep.
So the Guatemalans.
Yeah, Guatemalans are never blood. Panamanians and Guatemalans are never blood. We all in this Western Hemisphere. We all going to the same. Look at Haiti right now. Look at Cuba right now. Cuba right here.
So the Indians that from India north and west part of the
Yeah, the North brothers. North brothers. Like north, like up here and up in Canada. Out west, northwest of this land. And then in the south, in the south where my dad come from, off the Choctaw Reds, you know, we got a lot of us Reubenites, Seminoles, which, you know, they call us Black Seminoles. Yeah, they call us Black Seminoles, you know. And actually, there's a lot of history between us because when y'all, well, I don't know what you are, but saying like when Negroes came off the slave ships, we actually took them in, kept their brotherly code among them, gave them houses, wives, and, you know, continue on their legacy. Generations, you know? A lot of things they don't tell you. When they ran from the plantation, they ran to the reservations.
When they freed them, right? Yeah.
No, not when they freed. They never freed. None of them ran. They ran, and we caught them and like, hey, no, come on, brothers, come on over here. That's why they get a bad rep because they'll say, look up on Google, they say, some of the Indians go back to Africa. No, we don't. We've been here. And just they hate the fact that we still dark. You know what I'm saying? And that's the main thing. They can't give you a good explanation of why we dark. Because you look at most similar men, you wouldn't even recognize them.
Yeah, my son is Ogualasu, he's dark skinned. Yeah. And my other son is Ogualasu, he light skinned. My son took after me.
Yeah. What your dad is, LeBron?
My dad is a Blackfoot.
Oh, you're a Gadite.
Yeah, my dad is Blackfoot.
You're a Gadite, man. you a Gadite, tell you. My grandma, my mom is a Blackfoot, and they heavily around this Midwest area. So a lot of them, Arkansas, Illinois, Missouri area. You know what I'm saying? Tennessee, Indiana, Ohio.
You said Arkansas?
Yeah.
That's my dad from Arkansas.
They heavily popular in Arkansas. A lot of them in Arkansas. My grandmother come from there, on my mom's side. But my dad's parents are Seminoles. So you a Gadite? Yeah, man. You would be telling me a Gadite. The tribe of Gad. They're the original warrior tribe, man. As a matter of fact, a lot of you Gadites survived through Judah. Because remember, they had Judah being scouts to catch a lot of Gadites.
Like black people, right?
Yeah, they put us against each other, man.
Right, that's why I heard that's why Indians don't like black people because they fought the war.
You know, once we was conquered, right? And they was wiping out a lot of Gadite tribes. You know the history, they wiped out a lot of Gadite tribes, man. Imagine that smallpox alone wiped out a lot of Gadites. And so a lot of Gadites had survived through Negro women, if you will. So you hear a lot of perceived to be or so-called black people say, I got Indian or Native American in my blood. Well, 9 times or 10 times out of 10, they're right. Because that's the main way Gadites survived around here. I know brothers in them camps that's darker than me. The Gadites do.
I told them, I went to the reservation, I couldn't believe all the dark skin.
Yeah.
Long hair, like,
yeah, man. Like, I got that all the time as a kid growing up, because you know how it is growing up in the hood. You know, oh, if you black, you a nigga. You know how it goes, Bob. And then like, I would be teased about being, you know, Native American. So I just like, you know, it's kind of scoring me, you know, a little bit. But you know, I grew up with the long ass hair on my ass, all that shit, man. All that. I mean, I did all that, bro. I get along with like most of you guys as Gadites in the hood. You notice that we all flock to each other. Yeah, Reuben, we instantly click with each other. And that's just how it is, man. That's the spirit, man. Just knowing we brothers. Not even understanding how we know we brothers, but knowing that we brothers do the things we do and the things we like to do with or without each other. You know, sing, dance, play sports, you know, strength alike, you know, we're physically talented, all that, man. Spiritual people, all that. This is Jeremiah 50 and verse 33. It says, thus said the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah, because after King Solomon died, it was a split between our nation. And this became the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and this Simeon on down became...
Who's Solomon?
King Solomon was from Judah, tribe of Judah.
Okay, so he was leading the Jews.
Yeah, he was a king of us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was a king of us. David was his dad. King David.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so when it says Israel and Judah, that meaning it's referring to the split that came after King Solomon died, and you had Rehoboam, and then Jeroboam and him was warring with each other because Jeroboam assumed leadership of the northern tribes. The split came. So that's why I said that the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that. And we are oppressed together. We're in the ghettos. We're speaking about that. We're oppressed together. And it says, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. That's why you can't leave and go from the country that you leave. We're still captives to this very day. That's why a lot of our people are in the joint, man. Look at it, little Bob. Look how we grew up. We a couple years older than me. Yeah, so you're a couple years older than me. Look at the guys we grew up with in the joint. My step cousin, Mario. When everybody call Hootie, look at him, he in the joint. My cousin Punk, he in the joint. Everybody we knew growing up with, you only see a few of them that you grew up with.
Right, everybody.
You say your homeboys, that's my mans, we was tight growing up like that. We ain't got that like that, no more. You barely see them, the few you see. Because the so-called white man got the 13th Amendment. And it basically proclaim us as slaves for committing a crime. And you notice most guys go to prison is in there for petty crimes. Even if they selling drugs, which that's a part of witchcraft. You're not supposed to get into witchcraft.
Drugs is a part of it?
Yeah, that's why you gotta mix it up, put chemicals in it.
Oh my
induce it.
goodness.
Yeah, man.
That's why cigarette smoking, all that shit part of witchcraft.
Yeah. So check this out, little Bob.
That's crazy, man. I never knew that.
Yeah, because you gotta think about it.
Bro.
Yeah, you gotta think about it, little Bob. You have to induce it with chemicals and give it to the people, and it takes them out of itself. That's why the Lord said He suffered a wish not to live. A lot of guys that sell dope, they in and out of the joint. They ain't got no life for real.
It says in the Bible.
Yeah.
Yes. Man, you know that's hard, dog.
You want to see the scripture? I can show it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's why I got cousins that sell dope, man. They ain't out of the joint. Kids at home with their mothers being emasculate. Well, they ain't gonna be raised to be masculine, but their daddies ain't there. They ain't out of the joint, man. Like, they don't even know how to get out of the situation because they think that this is life.
Wow, it's 7 things. And it makes sense. You wonder how did somebody get hurt on something? Wow.
Yeah, because you gotta think about it. You go to the pharmacy, right? Like Walgreens, they got the pot and the brewery stem. What you do in the kitchen when you whip up dope.
So, like that pharmacy part of witchcraft too, you think?
Yeah. Pharmakia means witchcraft. Yeah, man, you look up the. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, people don't look at it like that, but hey, man, it's exactly what it says. Exodus, and this is in the law too, by the way. Exodus 22 and 18. Thou shalt not suffer a wish to live. Thou shalt not suffer a wish to live. So, at one point, I thought, King got out of it. I'm glad the Most High took me out of it. I put in there briefly, came out of it. They ain't look back. But we all have sins, man. That's why Scripture say, we all have sinned. All who have sinned. We was given the law. Sin is breaking the law. 1 John 3 and 4. Whosoever committed sin, transgresseth or breaketh the law. The law wasn't given to everybody. The law was given to us Israelites. That's why we have to go through curses. That's why you look at one of the verses, obviously Deuteronomy 28 chapter, it said, I speak for our brethren. So far, Israelites in America getting into one another. Their minds not to reason with one another. Hey, man, it's some bullshit we on. Man, we ain't gotta do this shit, man. Hey, no, nigga. What you talking about? I'll blow your ass. That's how they talk, man. Come on, little Bob. No. Our people, they do it too. They sell drugs too. Cartel. Jake doing the same shit. They was even in business with each other at various times. Many still this day. That's why the things happen to our people is because we're under these curses, man. And they don't even realize and understand it when you even tell it to them. But like I said, they be quick to shoot one another or to take one another life, right? But when these so-called white people work down the street or walk down the street or take something from them, they ain't supposed to do shit about it. You know why? Because he's in power, and we're not. They won't meet them with the same kind of aggression or force. They know they kill this. They know they kill this cracker. What's gonna happen to them? They'll throw the whole book at them. But they know they kill one of their own. You got okay. You can do the book get thrown at you, but you know you got a chance to get out here in public. 10 to 15 years, depending on how it was. You're a habitual offender, of course you're gonna do it. But you got 10 to 15 year first offense, Cracker, 25, life, no parole.
Bro, I was gonna go put money in church, bro.
What?
Drop it up. Taught me a lot of shit, man.
Yeah.
Can I bless you, man?
Hey, if you want to, I don't deny it.
I appreciate it. I'm still gonna put money in church, though, bro.
Well, I appreciate it. It'll go towards a veteran camp. I'm out here by myself right now.
I see that.
You know what I'm saying? I really appreciate it.
I'm glad I stopped, man. Because my brother,
Yeah, he's in Islam. That's one of the curses too.
He taught himself how to speak and write Arabic. My brother was a Sunni Muslim.
Yeah, a lot of people lean to it though, because Arabs speak a broken form of Hebrew. It's like they speak Hebrew a little bit, and I relate to them because they know they're from the Middle East and all that stuff, but they think that Arabic language is the original language, and it's not. They stem from Hebrew. They're part of the Hebrew bloodline, but they're Hebrew Ishmaelites. They're not Hebrew Israelites. The Lord is dealing with Hebrew Israelites. You know what I'm saying? This is about the Islam. One of the curses back in Deuteronomy 20 chapter. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people. That's every nation. You're among nearly every nation you can think of. From the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Wood represents the cross, stone represents the Pakistan and Islam. So a lot of people are into Christianity and Islam for the most part.
So I have a circle worshiping wood and stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they mean.
Yeah, the Catholic stone in Islam, and they actually go over there and worship that stone. So it's telling signs about that, but that's the prophetic curse we went through, and you see it. Your brother says he's a Sunni Muslim, he's worshiping that stone because ultimately they worship that stone, the Catholic stone. You ask him about it, you know. Oh, he passed away? Oh, that brother. Okay, so I remember that. And he was good. Yeah, that's been a while. Sorry, bro. It's been a while. It's been a while, bro. But yeah, man. Hey, hopefully, man, how about Shemal Rashad? Open your spiritual eyes up to the seasons, man, because right now our time of trouble is among us. Like it's on us, man. It's upon us, man, because all the prophetic signs that was given to let us know that Yahweh Shai, because the world calls his name Jesus Christ. It's not his real name. His name is Yahweh Shai, man. And the Most High name is Yahweh. And so that's their true names, their true proper name. Yahweh, which means he's to be or he exists, and Yahweh Shai is he deliverer or he savior. That's how you say it now. It's in your language.
You said Yahweh Shai?
No, Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
And that's God.
That's who everybody calls Jesus Christ.
All right.
And then his son, the Most High name is Yahweh.
Yahweh.
That's Heavenly Father, Yahweh.
No, that's like Yahweh.
Yeah, Yahweh, man. Them are names that even in the gatherings. You ever been to the gathering?
I went to the mosque one time in Chicago.
No, I'm talking about the gathering, like powwow.
No, a powwow Indian gathering. Yeah, I've been to a real powwow.
Yeah, you always they say like they say a broken form of the Most High name.
Oh my goodness, yeah, man.
It's Yahweh though.
Yeah, man. I be sitting there when they be bouncing.
Yeah,
I've been there.
So you've been to gatherings.
I've been to a powwow.
That's crazy. So you've been to a gathering and didn't even know you were gathering.
Yeah, man.
Or didn't even know you belong.
Yeah, my baby mama is she from Wounded Knee.
But still, you know that now you know you're a Gadite, man.
Wow, that's dope, dog.
Yeah, a lot of man. I'm telling you, it's plenty of brothers, man. You won't even know, man. You won't even know, I'm telling you, man. I'm going. You asked about King Solomon, right? I'm gonna actually. I mentioned color. Then we're gonna make it about color. I want to include this to you. A couple of precepts. It's not gonna take long at all. Because King Solomon described himself. Something that Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Shah. Yahweh is the Most High. That's the
You know what? That's probably the most out of all the chants. That's that. Yeah, it's only been one time.
You didn't know what it was, but now you know.
Yeah, you made it, man.
Song of Solomon. So the Songs of Songs, which is Solomon. So going to verse 5, it says, I am black, but comely pleasant. O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, is Solomon. Kedar is one of Ishmael's sons. It's actually the word that should be Kedar. In our language, it says Kedar, Q-A-D-A-R. It means dark skins. Dark skin. Verse 6, look not upon me because I am black, because the sun hath looked upon me. What the sun do when you're the sun too long? Can the Caucasian get dark? I guess they get dark red. It's black. So look not upon me because I am black, because the sun hath looked upon me. My mother's children were angry with me. They made me the keeper of the vineyards, but my own vineyard have I not kept. So that man. Jeremiah 14:2, it says, Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. Languish means to be approaching death with the signs of failure. They are black unto the ground, and the proud Jerusalem is going up. So the ground, come over here. Remember the word black means to be dark. Ground. Come over here. Get that dark brown soil. They are black unto the ground. Meaning what? They are darkening like unto the ground. The proud Jerusalem is going up. And it tells you in the book of Hebrews, the 7th chapter, in the 14th verse, that our Lord sprang out of Judah. Who was Judah, the so-called Negro in America? And they've been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Joel Embiid, he's Judah. He's from Cameroon. Cameroon is yeah, he's Judah. Yeah, he's Judah. He's from Cameroon. In the capital of Cameroon was named, the real way you say Judah in our language is a special name because they got the Most High name in their name, in their tribe name. It's called Yahweh. Duh is short for saying the water, which is thank you. And duh like saying thanks.
Duh just saying
Duh.
Duh.
Yeah, D-A-H.
Like
Yeah, the water is thank you. The wada is thank you. But saying this is duh is just thank you. Yahweh is both sides. So Yahweh thanks. That's literally what that's what you say when you say Judah in our language. You tell the Most High thank you. That's what, you know what I'm saying? Like it's, we're special, man. And these names are omens. These names are omens that was given to us by our forefathers' wives and handmaids. So, yeah, Leah and Rachel. That's all, you know. That's all you can do out here. Yeah. Hey, good to see you, little Bob. Hey, man. Hey, Lord Women, man. I don't know whose car is this. I got a teacher. They got a car. But, y'all about Shemal Shah Ratazah. That's the Most High. His name is Son Will. You see this, man, and go home and watch videos, man. Watch Great Millstone, man. GMS. The apostles of GMS.
What's that about?
They teach. They you know what I'm saying? Them are our elders first and foremost. Them are elders, and you got other brothers. You will see other brothers too teaching. Just type in GMS. Just type in apostles of GMS, or type in you can type in my channel if you want to. But you can type in GMS, you get all the brothers, the elders, apostles, and the brothers. And when you can learn. If you don't got that long to learn, you know what I'm saying? But our time of trouble is here. The economy is breaking down because that's part of the space going down. You see it. You got the wars and rumors of wars, which are some of the signs that Yahweh Shah gave us. You got that's going on. Nation rises against nation. World War III brewing up with the tension between all the militaries of the earth, U.S. versus Russia. You know, a lot of them things are going on right now because we're in the end. Matthew 24:3. As he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? Right? And Yahweh Shah answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ being anointed. I am the anointed, and shall deceive many, right? That proves there's more than one Antichrist, by the way. It says, verse 6, And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. You got the arms race going on between the U.S. and Russia and other countries that have military might and missile capability. You look at the news, right? It says, you should hear of wars and rumors of wars, and see that ye be not troubled. But it says, For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. You see that right now. Look at all of the heightened tension between different neighboring countries across seas, and over here. The so-called Americans toppling governments as we speak. They've been doing over 20, for a long while, but the past 20 years or so, war on terror, they're just overthrowing leaders throughout the Middle East, man. That's what's been going on. It says, and there shall be famines. A famine is lack of food or starvation. Venezuela is starving right now. Yemen is starving right now. The people in Haiti they already been going through their financial burdens, and they can't hardly afford food. In Cuba, they got uproars down in Cuba right now. Over in Central America, South America, they coming up. The Israelites coming up in big ass caravans, and a lot of migrants coming from down there. Because the U.S. have overthrown the government, destroyed their land, took the resources, so they forced to come up here. See what I'm saying? Because they starving and shit. They were down in Venezuela years ago eating the animals out of the zoo. Out the zoo and even doing cannibalism. So it's a lot of things that you see. You wouldn't know that if you're not in tune to what's going on. If you like
have a world look.
Yeah. Hey, the scriptures say be circumspect. Circumspect means circle means all around. Spect means look like that's respect. So look around what's going on. You don't wake up every day and think about man, I'm gonna get
Ben Harbor, basically.
Yeah, people mindset is all confined to Ben Harbor, or what's going on social media, or who won the game. That's cool. As far as you want to watch the game, I'm not knocking that. That's cool. But always keep your mind staying focused on the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, because that's what's going to stand in the end. And these prophecies are going to come to pass. You know what I mean?